Hey y'all, welcome to Horrible Gaming. My name is Nora, and on today's video I am sharing with you 3 ways to decorate Fairy Godmother's house. I thought it would be really fun to kind of show how you could decorate her house in several different biomes. So today we will be decorating in the Peaceful Meadow, the Forest of Valor, and of course the Forgotten Lands where her house was originally. So to start off today's video, we will be working in the Forest of Valor. Now the little cul-de-sac build that you're seeing in front of her house, we actually did this on a previous live stream, and I will have it linked in the video's description in case you want to see how this was built and a slower in-depth tutorial on how to build it. So over by Fairy Godmother's house, I'm using one of the new path borders that we just got with the recent update, and I really love this for little farming areas and just like mapping out where I want raised flower beds. So we're going for that vibe over by her house. I was trying to make this Dreamlight tree kind of work out with the build, but I wasn't really a fan of it, so I ended up actually just shoving that in the background to kind of like hide some of the empty space, because obviously this is just a house idea video. It's not like a full biome tutorial, and as you can see, this whole entire biome is a huge work in progress. I'm hoping to finish it up on a video or in a future live stream. Even though we do have path borders now, I do prefer the rock border look for my more cottagecore areas. So this is just my personal preference for the natural cottagecore areas on my valley. Of course, if you prefer the borders over this look, you can definitely do that to make your design limit go further. Like I said earlier in this video, I prefer the new natural looking path borders for like my raised flower beds or my garden areas. So this is just all a personal preference. Definitely make adjustments to suit your valley the best. But regardless, I hope that today's video brings you a ton of Disney Dreamlight Valley inspiration. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite build was as well. So now that I've framed in the little garden area, we're going to start detailing around Fairy Godmother's house. I'm going to make use of the pumpkins that we got in the fall update and just, place them around the biome. And then eventually I think I'm going to be bringing over some blue and orange flowers just to really bring out her house colors. I really want this first idea of Fairy Godmother's house to really capture that nice cozy cottagecore vibe that many of us adore, and so this is kind of the vibe that we're trying to go for over here right next to her home. So I ended up removing the wooden bench by the little garden spot because I felt like it was becoming too much clutter in the location, and obviously we don't want to take away from Fairy Godmother's beautiful house. So instead I made use of the little grassy spot to do like a little cottagecore walkway that connects to the dirt cul-de-sac, and I think that this was a really nice solution because I was also able to accent with a bunch of different flowers just to bring out some more orange tones into the build. So now that I have all of that decor finished, we're going to work on that little stone path that I just mentioned, and I'm going to rotate them as needed and kind of just do a little curved effect, and then we're going to delete a couple of these bigger rocks so it connects to our dirt path. And then this first build of Fairy Godmother's is pretty much done. I am going to detail with a couple more flowers just in the grassy path, but other than that, that is the finished product of this first idea. With that being said, we will now transition to our second Fairy Godmother build, and this one is going to be in the Peaceful Meadow. So the Peaceful Meadow version of Fairy Godmother's home was actually my absolute favorite version of all 3 builds today. I just think that I personally prefer her house over here because the green on her home actually really complements the grass in the Peaceful Meadow. So just like we did in the Forest of Valor, we're going to be doing a more natural approach to this house, and I'm going to be making use of my favorite rock border. Again, you can definitely use the border pass if you want to. This is just a personal preference for me. I really love the details for the more cottagecore look. Now, I did actually really love the gravel path over here in the Peaceful Meadow like we get in the beginning of the game, so I think eventually I'm going to be moving her back into this location, and instead of using the dirt path over here, I'm going to go with the more gray pebble path just so it's a little bit different from my forest. But I ended up just using the dirt path because honestly I didn't think I was going to be decorating in the Forest of Valor during this video. This was a last minute decision to do 3 ideas, so that is why we have the dirt path in 2 of these builds. But just know that eventually I am planning to come back here, and I might even record this or do it on a stream of the actual version for my valley that I plan on keeping. So now that I have the path all mapped out, it's time to start doing our decorating and detailing it. Now, if you are somebody struggling with the curved rock border look on these paths, I do have an in-depth tutorial on this. I will have it linked in the video's description. We have done this quite a bit on my channel, so I ended up fast forwarding it for that reason. So just like the forest build, we're going to be bringing in a lot of different orange tones, and I think I'm going to increase the pumpkin clutter on this one just a little bit more too. And I want to do a small little sitting area where that other lamp is, kind of near the pond, so eventually we're going to be decorating in front of that as well. As for like the surroundings, as you can see, my meadow is a huge work in progress as well, so please excuse the emptiness all around it. Eventually I do plan to do a nice tutorial video fixing up this whole whole entire biome. My plan for the peaceful meadow is to do a more natural approach with it. I want both of my forest and the meadow to be very natural areas, not as structured, since a lot of my structure builds will be in the plaza. So I'm looking forward to having the fairy godmother over in this location. I'm not sure who else I want in the meadow, so if you have any fun villager ideas for this biome, let me know in the comments section. I was planning on keeping Goofy and Mickey in my forest of Valor, but I will definitely move them down here if needed. So now that the main path is mapped out and we got some decorations starting, we're gonna go ahead and start filling these sides in with some greenery. Keep in mind, I did change my mind on this a few times, so expect a couple of transitions through this decorating process, but I'm really excited with how all of this is coming in. I just think the oranges throughout the build just bring in a really nice pop of color. Then I'm gonna also detail with a few of these Cinderella items too. Next, I went ahead and framed some of the area with the tall maple trees. These are my favorite to use, especially in the peaceful meadow, just because it's a very similar green on the leaves, and I just felt like it really added such a cozy vibe, especially near the pond for Fairy Godmother's home. So after a few final details, this is the final product of the peaceful meadow version of Fairy Godmother's home. I hope that today's video is bringing you a ton of Disney Dreamlight Valley inspiration. With that being said, it is time to now transition to our last Fairy Godmother design for today. This version of Fairy Godmother is going to be a more elegant and princessy vibed approach to her home. Keep in mind, I have not finished the new story that just released yet, or her friendship quest, so that is why I still have that giant pumpkin in the garden plot. I'm not sure if we actually get to keep this or not, so let me know in the comment section if we do. Now, I know many of us are going to be probably decorating Fairy Godmother in the Forgotten Lands because it just makes perfect sense to have her here, but I have a big plan for my Forgotten Lands. I'm wanting to do a giant abandoned castle vibe with that new spooky castle item that we got in the premium shop, and I'm also wanting to do a abandoned carnival. So I just want this whole biome to not be very pretty. I just really want to have a spooky abandoned vibe, which also plays in a huge role on why I want Fairy Godmother in my peaceful meadow too. My color scheme and also the way that I place Fairy Godmother's light item is also inspired by my friend Elle. I just really loved this color combination for Fairy Godmother's home, so be sure to check out Elle in the comment section. I will have her channel linked. I've seen a lot of people use this brick path already in the Forgotten Lands, and I really do think it just softens up the biome so much and adds a really nice elegant flair to it. But of course, if you're like me and going for a more spooky approach, I do plan to record my Forgotten Lands biome and those speed builds in the future, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm just waiting to be able to get that spooky castle so we can start building. Anyways, now that the main structure is pretty much done, it's time to start detailing with some white flowers and a few more little item clutters here and there. I went ahead and extended the pathway out so we could do a little sitting area in front of the large pumpkin, and this is how the build is starting to look. What I loved about today's build in the Forgotten Lands is how small it is compared to the other ones, so if you're running out of space or needing your Forgotten Lands to kind of just have a little bit more room to decorate in, I feel like this is such a great build to kind of reduce all that clutter. I also think that this layout too would be really cute for the peaceful meadow as well. I think that the structure of this is really neutral and definitely biome friendly, so you could easily recreate this layout in your peaceful meadow, like I said, or even the Forest of Valor if you're wanting something a little bit more small. But anyways, that's it for today's video. I hope that all three Fairy Godmother builds brought you some Disney Dreamlight inspiration. Let me know what your favorite one was in the comment section below. Before today's video ends, I do want to give a huge thank you to all of my channel members. Thank you so much for supporting me as a creator. Just your support in general means the absolute world to me. So a huge thank you to Nicole, the Eco27, Luna Girl, Sarah B, Paige Beatrice, Homa, Ray, Icy Gaming, Jasmine Deem, Jazz, Let's Play K, Baby Blue X016, Luann Marie, Alicia Ramirez, Hannah, Brooke, Rem Crossing, The Breakdown, Els, Kate Thompson, Towels Games, Claire Mack, Chrissy, Sneaky Fox, Iceberg, Kirby, Owen Anderson, Jet, Camille, Alyssa, Trisha Dunn, Queen V, Emily, Ellie Dogmeat, Sam the Pokeman, Monica B, Catherine Funk, Sherry Blossom, Kavi, Connor Adventure, The Bellarific, It's Your Girl Crystal, Mickey, Cherry Dot Crossing, Irish Lady 51, Opal of Wisteria, The Artsy Gamer, Dammy, Cosmon, Madison Rachel, and Adriana Dawson. Thank y'all so much for watching and have a horrible day.